everybody, it is your girl Jalen Brunson, your favorite goddess coach. Today this video is going to be quite serious. This video is going to be very important because this is the very topic that we never really learn about as we grow up, and it's one of those things that truly affect us deeply on a spiritual level but also on a mental level. Probably is the reason why a significant amount of you are having mental health issues or could be contributing to your mental health issues, vaginal issues and illnesses and diseases, infections, as well as even looking at the reality of your life and not being satisfied with it, you know? Kind of like you're not getting the financial results that you would like out of your life. You're not really attracting the people that you would like out of your life. This really dives deep into it. Me personally, I'm not a religious person, but I grew up in a religious family. So I understand that the topic we're going to talk about today is kind of like, I don't know, it has a connotation around it, but honestly, I'm gonna just be real with you. I'm gonna be real with you from my personal experience and what I've been seeing when I'm working with clients and just people in my life and stuff of that nature. This is something that you really want to take seriously, and you really want to keep this in mind. We want to start becoming mindful of sexuality. We want to start becoming mindful of sexuality and mindful of the partners that we decide to sleep with, especially as women. And when I say that, I'm not trying to be sexist. I'm not trying to come at y'all neck. I'm not trying to do anything. I say this because as women, we are the center of magnetism. We're connected to the sacral chakra of our bodies, our wombs. Our vaginas are literally internal based organisms that take on and receive energy. You can see this at the actual biological, physiological makeup of a woman. We have an internal based hole, and then within that, the penis come around and inserts itself into the hole and gives us energy. So by nature, yes, we can be these beautiful magnetic human beings, right? But what comes from that is magnetism and receptivity. So you want to make sure that you know what you're getting into when we talk about sexuality, because sexuality is not just this thing where you're experiencing all these emotions. Sexuality can have a huge impact on your mental health, your spiritual health, and specifically your spiritual hygiene is absolutely essential. And this is the very thing that they never teach any of us. Like, imagine growing and going throughout your whole life and you've collected all this energy every single time you slept with somebody, every single time you was engaging with somebody. You created this cord with them, and a cord is an energetic cord that you create with a person, and within that energetic cord, that person's able to give you energy. The strongest cords that you create in this life as a woman is going to be the relationship between your baby and your mom. So mother to child, that is the strongest cord that you can create. But the second strongest cord that you create is sex. When you have sex with a person, you create strong energetic cords. You can look at a cord almost as like a tie, a soul tie, a contract that you have with an individual. And within that cord, you can basically transmute energy to one another. Now, what does that mean? Because I know a lot of y'all gonna listen to it and be like, girl, blah, blah, blah. I'm so serious. This is so important. In my life, I've seen the negative impacts of not having spiritual hygiene and not knowing about cords. And this is why I brought up the connotation of like the religious, especially here in the West, we hear a lot about Christianity and the whole concept of sex before marriage. I understand what they were trying to get at. I understand what they were trying to get at when they says, you know, don't have sex before marriage and how that's a sin or whatever the case is, and the whole purity context. I don't agree with 100% of it and the propaganda, you know, all that stuff, but at the same time, I get from a spiritual level what they were trying to do. Because purity, right, not having that many partners, it means that you don't have a lot of other people's energy in your being. But the thing about it is, it's not like you gotta worry or whatever the case is and be like, oh my God, I've had sex with all these people, because girl, I'm not judging you. I'm grown, okay? But spiritual hygiene is absolutely essential, and learning how to detach from these people after you have sex. I talked about this in a video previously, but I really want to re-stress this, and I'm gonna give y'all a personal story into my life and why this is so important. Like, this is life-changing. Every time you have sex with somebody, you create an energetic cord with that person, and basically that energetic cord, with you being the receptive energy, you are receiving that person's energy. So let's say you stumble upon a person who has a bad financial situation. Let's say you stumble upon a person who is depressed. Let's say you stumble upon a person who has not done a lick of inner work on themselves, and then you start engaging sexually with them, what do you think is going to happen? You're going to find yourself waking up one day, and after having sex with this person that you really didn't know that much, maybe you didn't know that they had all those things going in their mind and in their spirit, you had sex with them, and you wake up and you wonder why you feel like you're lacking confidence. You wonder why your bag all of a sudden just slowed down and why your money's going out the drain. You're wondering why you're feeling depressed. It may not be you. It might actually be all the spirits that is collected in your womb. Yes, a lot of people, we go through these situations, and I know a lot of women can relate to this out there. You might even experience numbness down there, pain down there. You might contract a lot of infections, yeast infections and stuff of that nature, and they don't even know the cause necessarily of most of these vaginal infections that are most popular, like BV and yeast infections. I believe they don't know the exact reason why we experience these things. But if you know the spiritual perspective, you know that a lot of the times every single disease has a energetic standpoint. But here's the thing, you have sex with a lot of people, you connect with a lot of people, and we go throughout life just, racking up bodies and stuff of that nature. It's just a part of life. It is what it is. And you haven't done a spiritual bath in your life. You haven't done any womb Reiki on yourself. You haven't had a womb Reiki healer work on you. You haven't detached any of these cords. You haven't cut any of these cords, whatever the case is. And you've just collected all this energy. It's almost like a pipe that is clogged in your spirit, and you're not able to fully tap into your fullest potential because you're being bogged down by all these energies. My love, you need to cleanse your energy. You need to perform rituals to cleanse your energy often, and before you get in bed with somebody, you really want to know who you're dealing with. Take your time to get to know them, date them, feel them out, have deep conversations, especially if you're about to sleep with a person, because you don't know what that person is coming with, because when they come inside you, they are coming inside you. I was dealing with somebody in my life, and we dealt with each other, we were sleeping with each other, X, Y, and Z, we were dating, and literally, and I've had this with multiple people, like multiple boyfriends that I've had in my life, when they start feeling any extreme emotion, it doesn't matter where I was. It don't matter where I was. I could be across the country. If they experience anger, I would feel this anger. My heart would start to race in my being. And then they would call me and be like, oh my God, I can't believe this just happened. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm feeling this person's emotions. Or I'm sitting and I'm hanging around a person, and all of a sudden I'm just feeling sad. I'm just feeling depressed. I'm just feeling down. And then I'm literally in the car with this man, and I'm like, are you okay? Are you sad? And he's like, no, I'm not okay. And then he explained to me what he was going through. And it was weird. It was almost like I could understand mentally that these were not my feelings and emotions, but I was still feeling them in my body. But I knew mentally that those were not my feelings and emotions. But I think it's because I've meditated a lot, and I'm very spiritually advanced for my age, and stuff of that nature. And I've done this work for a long time, for several years now. I've developed that awareness. But if you haven't developed that awareness, you're probably walking around thinking that you're crazy. You're probably walking around tapped into all these people's energies and frequencies. You feel crazy, you feel insane, because you haven't released these people's energies from your being. And you want to practice, to get into it, you want to practice meditation. You want to practice meditation not only for the simple fact that it can literally help you heal, help your mental health in all types of ways. There's so many spiritual benefits of meditation and practical benefits of meditation. Focus, energy, motivation, all of that. But also, meditation helps you become more aware, because now when you get into a meditative state, you're basically activating your third eye chakras and all your receptive chakras in your being. Your crown chakra, your third eye, even your heart. Because you're slowing down and you're getting into this place where you can really tap into the subtle energies of things. When you meditate on a daily basis, even if it's just 5 minutes a day, even if you have to do a guided meditation, whatever the case is, you get in the habit of exercising that muscle, you will be able to know whether you're dealing with somebody else's emotion or your own. And that's powerful, because now that if you know that you're dealing with somebody else's emotion, you can clear it out just like that. 2, spiritual hygiene is absolutely essential. You want to practice spiritual hygiene all the time. And I can't get into every single way that you do spiritual hygiene, but one of the best ways that you can do it is by doing monthly spiritual baths. And I've been slacking on this sometimes, I'm not gonna hold you, sometimes I'll be forgetting. But what you wanna do, especially if you're a healer and you be doing energy work, and especially if you just slept with somebody, you want to make sure that you do a spiritual bath. It's very simple. You just take some salt. And I remember even some brujas taught me, like, you know, take a little bit of lemon. Okay, you could take some lemon and lime. You could rub that on your skin too. You could do that, or you could take some salt and you take a salt bath and you charge that water up. You set the intentions to the water and you bathe in that from top to bottom, your whole head, to cleanse your field. You could do that for one day or for several days. Some people say do it 3 days in a row. Cleanse your auric field and get in the habit of doing that on a monthly basis. It's going to keep your energy light and airy so that you're not holding on to all these negative low vibrations. And you know, I'm not a hater of low vibrations, because low vibrations are your root chakra and your sacral chakra. There's nothing wrong with lower vibes. But when you're bogged down and it's not balanced with your upper half, that's when we start getting out of control, okay, and developing all these mental issues, all these sacral chakra issues and stuff like that. We don't want that. We want the womb to be flourishing. We want the womb to feel good. We want the womb to feel bright and open and just alive, and not bogged down with all these other people's energies and frequencies and doing all types of stuff. Okay, that's another thing. Y'all don't know what's going on in other people's bloodlines and what curses are running in their bloodlines. Y'all need to study up on these people. That's why I'm saying. And that's the next point, selectivity. Be selective about the people that you choose to engage with. Really choose to only engage with people who are high quality, because when you do that, you set yourself up for success on all levels: mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, and financially. I talked about this in another video before. Your success determines on who you sleep with. Your success is determined on who you sleep with, because the masculine energy, when it comes with the feminine energy and you bring it together, you have creation. So what you're creating depends on who you're sleeping with. And obviously you can create by yourself. We all have masculine energy within us as well, but we are dominantly feminine energy because that's just naturally who we are as women. But we still have testosterone. We still have masculine energy within us for a reason, so we can still get stuff done. But at the end of the day, when you interact with the masculine energy and the masculine gives you energy, you are creating something and birthing something out into this world. What does that mean? How much money you make, how much abundance you're able to create, how well your projects go, how well your releases go, how are you being supported by that masculine energy. And on a sexual level, it can either hinder that or help that depending on who you sleep with. So you got to make sure you're sleeping with somebody who is a strong masculine energy and who has healthy masculine energy and not toxic masculine energy. They're safe, they're secure, they're grounded within themselves, they have responsibility, and they've done a certain level of inner work. They tapped into their emotions as well, so they don't have all this stuff bogged down in their being, and they're not giving you all that stuff. Next point, make sure after you deal with somebody, maybe even you cleanse them a little bit. Before you deal with them, make sure you cleanse them a little bit. Take a little sage, take a little Palo Santo, and clear their energy. If they're, men usually really love spirituality and spiritual girls, and plus you probably want to only deal with men who are open to your spirituality anyway. But like, light a little sage and Palo Santo, or set some intentions. Or if you know how to do Reiki and stuff that nature, do a little Reiki work on his energy before he comes into you. Because if you get him activated and you raise his frequency up and you do your, spiritual magic on him, then he's a better partner for you. And usually men love it and they're very intrigued by that energy anyway, because it's giving that feminine mystery energy that I talked about in my previous video. Also learn more about that in my course, Psychic Secrets of Seduction. It's down below in the description box. Check it out. Great course. But have a little mystery to it. He loves that. Next point. One thing I like to do every single time I have sex with somebody is hold their hands, and at the end just be like, I've learned this from a teacher when I was in LA. You hold their hand and you say, what's mine is mine and what's yours is yours. And you almost imagine all the energy that they just gave to you going right back to them, and all the energy that you gave to them coming right back to you. And you just get into that little meditation. Imagine that happening, so that after you're done, you're not transmuting as much of those energies or any of that energy at all. And like I said, this is where the meditation comes in. You got to meditate to be able to visualize and to be able to learn how to move energies and stuff like that. I talk about this in my courses, okay? Goddess course, Psychic Secrets of Seduction even. Oh, if you want to learn how to work them chords, you want to learn how to work them chords, girl. Because they don't tell us about them chords, not just because of this stuff, but also because you can work them chords and you can affect people, honey. Check out that course, Psychic Secrets of Seduction. Next. Last point. Sexual demons are a thing. Sexual demons are a thing. Me personally, I've had an experience with this where one time I was so drained. I felt so tired. I just felt so like sick. Honestly, I felt like I was getting a cold and I just felt like I was being drained and I felt like something was wrong with me. And I was like, this was happening for 3 days and it felt like every single day I was just getting sicker and sicker. And one time I was at the bank and I was signing up for a new bank account, and this guy, the bank teller or whatever the people's name is, he was talking to me and we were having a good conversation back and forth. You know, he was a black guy and I was just resonating with him and we was all laughing and X, Y, and Z. And then he just stopped. He looked at me and it was so weird. It was almost like something jumped inside of him to give me this message. But he was like, yeah, it's almost like vampires could be real. They just drain you of your energy. And then he looked back into his laptop and continued typing. And it was so weird. I even looked at my dude who I was talking to at the time and I was like, did you see that? And he looked at me like, that was weird too. I peeped. And then I started looking at my dude crazy when we got back to the apartment, because I was like, I was looking at him like, what happened? Because I'm sitting here feeling sick. I'm feeling something wrong with me. Okay, so I just didn't feel like something was right. And then one day we were still at this Airbnb. I went to sleep in this Airbnb and I just saw all this stuff. I was lucid dreaming. I looked down my womb area and I just saw all these monsters just attacking my womb and just sucking the life out of my womb. And I was like, what the hell? And I was lucid dreaming, so I was aware that I was dreaming. So I just started slicing and slicing and slicing. I tapped into Oya energy, just started slicing and slicing and slicing and slicing and slicing and slicing, slicing the energy. And then I woke up, and when I tell you my sickness went away, I didn't feel sick. I felt lighter. I felt like I just released something. And that's when I learned, oh, these demons is real. Sex demons is real and they will be passed. And literally that same day I developed a UTI, which is like, you know, urinary tract infection. It hurts, it burns every time you pee. I was like, ah! I feel like honestly I did that. I contracted that UTI after I did a lot of spiritual work and I was just slicing and slicing and slicing. Now I don't even teach personally slicing. I don't teach cord cutting anymore. I teach cord removal because that's how I was taught by people and my mentors and stuff like that, and by my courses that I've taken. But also check that out too. I just dropped a section about that in the course because I recognize that I teach you guys how to work the cords on people and stuff like that. But maybe you want to detach some of these cords too, because you don't want all these girls. You don't want all these girls. Some of these cords is bogging you down, okay? So I think because I was cutting the cords and going slicing, I accidentally hurt myself a little bit. But after that day, I literally felt better. I felt clear as day and I wasn't sick anymore. And that's how I knew that these sex demons is real and you don't want to play around with that. Okay, if you're feeling drained, if you're feeling mentally fogged, if you're feeling like just confused and you don't know what's going on and you feel like something's off within your body and you've gotten checked out and nothing is coming up, but you feel like something is off, you need to do some spiritual work on yourself. You need to do some spiritual healing on yourself. At some point, you got to let go of the 3D and go back into, you know, that higher reality and step into the energetic spiritual plane and handle it there, because we don't get taught these things, but it's so important for your mental health and your spiritual health because it's all intertwined. Mind, body, soul, it's all interconnected. And not only that, but it will affect your bag, girl. Okay, your bag. And you do not want things affecting your bag and your money. You want to feel calm, stable, grounded, collected, almost like all your needs are being met and you're able to live this abundant, fruitful life. You cannot create any of that if your womb, your center of creation, is off balance and you got all these other people's energies in your being. You got to release it, because when you have sex with people, it is a contract. You are signing a contract. Almost imagine signing a pen, because it's a ritual. Okay, honey, they don't teach us this, but there's a reason why when you look at these ancient tantric temples, these ancient Egyptian temples, those people was making love with each other in the hieroglyphs and stuff like that, because they knew the sacred power of sexuality. Okay, and it was not symbolic, this was real life. When your fluids are mixing up with his fluids and you're creating that, that is a literal ritual, a literal spell, and you are signing a contract with that person. So be careful who you are signing these contracts with. And after a good way to gauge if you feel good or not with this person, or if you should be dealing with this person, is how do you feel during the act? Actually, not only how do you feel during, but after. Do you feel energized or do you feel drained? Does your life get better and improve when you're with this person? Or does your life seem to go down the drain? These are all things that you want to be careful about and make sure and be wary of. And also examine their life. When you have sex with them and you're engaging with them, does their life go up or is their life going down? Because y'all might not be matched right. Some might be going off with you. Because usually when you have good energy and you get involved with somebody else, you'll notice that they'll be on the increase. That their life will go up, their mind will get better, their life will get better, they'll get more money, they'll get more success, they'll feel more at peace because your energy is affecting them in that type of way. They're creating that within your womb. So some people don't even realize your womb is getting used. Some people know this on a subconscious level and they are using your womb to get ahead in life. I dive deeper into that in Psychic Secrets of Seduction 2, the 8th house section. Okay, child, get into this information. You need to know this. You need to know this. You need to know this. But yeah, that is a couple tips and interesting stories and just things that you can do to prevent this energy from happening. Like I said over and over again in this video, it's hard to break everything down into one video that you need to do because honestly, this is a lifetime practice. This is a lifestyle switch. And I have put this in my course, Psychic Secrets of Seduction, my magnetism course, how to build magnetism from the inside so that it can reflect on your outside and you getting whatever it is that you desire, but it is doing that inner work and learning the magical power of the goddess within you. Like, y'all don't realize how powerful you are. You literally can be and attracted to anyone or anything if you learn how to get this energy correct. My girls have taken this course, they've gotten their money right, they've gotten their relationships right, and they're living their best lives because they have stepped back and activated their energy and the goddess within them. So definitely check out that course and check out all my programs if you're really ready to do the work, and follow me on Instagram at itsbabyj. And if you really do have questions and concerns, comment down your questions down below and I'll reply to as many people as I possibly can. And yeah, I'll talk to y'all soon. Bye.